Hello and welcome. My name is Carsten Lützen. I'm a Scrum Master and Agile Coach. In this video I will share the manifesto for Agile software development, and it's also known as the Agile Manifesto. If you like these videos, please subscribe and share. That would be awesome. Let's go back to this Agile Manifesto or Manifesto for Agile software development. It's one of the documents and things that we often refer to, but I think it's a really good thing to revisit it from time to time because there is much more to it than just the 12 principles and the 4 values. First off, let's get into some of the background for this Agile Manifesto. So, on 11 to the 13th February 2001, 17 Agilists met up in a skiing lodge where they, of course, were going to ski, relax, drink probably a lot of beer, but also try to find this common ground because they were in fact competitors in many ways. They had different backgrounds: extreme programming, Scrum, Crystal, feature-driven development, and so on. But still, they, at least when you read the sources, they had some feeling that there was actually a common ground if they could just find it and clearly express it. And Alistair Cockburn said that he was not sure that they could find this common ground and phrase it in a good way. But actually, they found this common ground and they phrased it in a way that they liked. So Alistair Cockburn is quoted for saying, "So we did agree on something substantive." And that is really, really true. Because when we look at the Agile Manifesto, it is a reaction to the often called Waterfall Approach, right? And the Agile Manifesto starts out like this. On the top, we have this: we are uncovering better ways of developing software by doing it and helping others to do it. Through this work, we have come to value. And the important thing to notice here is this is not some academics in an ivory tower that define this. This is actually something actively doing software development. And the practice they have come to value, we'll get to that in a second, because what people sometimes tend to forget is this part. And this part is super, super important. Let me read it out loud. That is, while there is value in the items on the right, we value the items on the left more. Meaning, there is value in this side, but we just think that there is more value over here. We are not saying that there is no value in this side and all the value over here. But if we have to choose, we'll focus on this and then do this when the time is right. If we go to the first value, we value individuals and interactions over processes and tools. In Agile teams, you will see quite a lot of really mature Agile teams having a lot of processes, but also a lot of tooling. But how does that work with this Agile Manifesto? In the Agile team, in a mature Agile team, we need the processes, we need to define how we are working, but we do that based on individuals and interactions, and we change the processes whenever we need to. We also introduce or remove tools when we need to, but we'll always value these individuals and interactions. Being in a mature Agile team requires a lot of discipline, both from the individual team members, but also from its surroundings. Hence, we need some kind of processes. Second value, working software over comprehensive documentation. This is again a way of saying if it's not in the hand of the customer, it's not adding value, it's actually just waste. If we go back to the Waterfall paper by Royce, he will say that we need to do a lot of comprehensive documentation, but if you actually read his paper again, you realize he's also suggesting a 2-pass approach, so trying to build a prototype and then use that for creating the documentation. It's much of the same here. We will look at the working software, if we go to the principles, as the primary measure of progress. This is where we can see how are we doing good, or should we do something else? And then we will document what is necessary, but we will not document for the sake of documentation, which I still see some people doing, because that's just stupid and it doesn't add value. It will just get stale even before we hit the commit button. The third value is this customer collaboration over contract negotiation. I would much rather try to get a hold of my customer end user and have him or her sit next to me while we are developing a specific feature to get their feedback and input as soon as possible, compared to having a long contract that the system should do this and this in this quantity and this speed and so on. Because odds are that the contract is at best wrong, and we're probably not even solving the problem that the customer wanted us to solve. Hence, we need to collaborate with the customer and the end users as fast as possible and as soon as possible, and bring them on board. The next value and the last value of the 4 values is this: responding to change over following a plan. We do have plans in Agile. For instance, if we are running Scrum, we'll have a plan for the next 2 weeks. The product owner might even have a high-level plan for the next 3 or 4 sprints to the best of their knowledge at the point in time. But we still have the chance to respond to change if we need to. So let's say that a new competitor enters the market, then we can respond to it. We will take the plan, say, not this time, and make a new and better plan based upon these circumstances. And that's a really, really important thing to do. And a fun thing to do at a retrospective, for instance, is going through these 4 values. How far on one or the other side, so to say, are we? Are we where we want to be? Because it's not always a Boolean answer that we are for. It's not always either we are this or we are not. But try to take these discussions in the team. It's really, really helpful. And then, as always, I'm hoping that some of you will share how are you utilizing these values and the manifesto itself in your day-to-day job. And please share comments and questions and feedback on these videos and the format. Either send them in a direct message to me or in a comment. It's highly appreciated and helps me to improve this. And then have a nice day.